Recording in progress, all right?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call. Councilmember Compton.
Here.
Caroline Baker.
He's excused, she's on a plane, and she will be joining via Zoom later.
Thank you. Farrell. Here. Happy.
Here.
Keller.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Mayor Bell.
Here. The additional amendments to the agenda.
I have two of them. I emailed out earlier today, add an additional name to 6B. To appoint to the downtown revitalization committee. And then to move 7A up to 6C as it becomes an action item, requesting an extension for the charter review. All of that is in the email, as well as hard copies in front of you now.
Okay. We have the adoption of it, so they're gonna with the.
What we are, agenda, and then system agenda.
Thank
Move to adopt the amended agenda. A second.
Discussion? All right, roll call vote.
Councilmember Compton.
Here.
Farrell.
Aye.
Happy.
Aye.
Keller.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Mayor Bell.
Aye. All right, so now it's approval of the adopted agenda, amended.
Adoption of the agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda, including the approval of the minutes from April 22nd, 2024 council meeting, and the ratification bills in the amount of $591,962.13.
Second.
I second.
Any discussion? All right, roll call vote.
Councilmember Compton.
Aye.
Farrell.
Aye.
Happy.
Aye.
Keller.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Mayor Bell.
Aye, passes. Move on to item 4, appearance of interested citizen. And which one up is Mr. Albert Nance.
You need to press anything on this, is our recording? Okay.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, council. My name is Albert Nance. I am a local citizen, I'm a taxpayer, and I'm also a court commissioner. I come to you as a citizen and a taxpayer and a homeowner here in Cascade Locks, not as a representative of the court. I just have a quick comment. I understand that the council has the difficult decisions to make regarding the budget. And I understand that citizens have their thoughts and our thoughts, and they should be brought up to the county. I agree that Cascade Locks deserves law enforcement support, but I think our comments need to be directed towards the sheriff department and county commission, not the city council. Frankly, that is one of the main reasons I'm running for county commissioner. We need a voice to the county level to represent Cascade Locks. We pay taxes to the county, and 31% of the county's budget goes towards the sheriff's department. That means 31% of our taxes as citizens of Cascade Locks go to the sheriff. As the second largest city in the county, we should have law enforcement presence without having to pay extra. Other towns don't pay this extra. The city is paying extra dollars for less than a full-time employee. This is on top of our county taxes. That equates to double taxation. I don't know about you all, but I don't like the idea of being taxed twice for the same service. If the county or sheriff say that us not paying the additional money means less service, then that means taxation without representation. That doesn't sit well with me either. So to recap and direct this towards citizens as well as the council, we already pay our taxes to the county. Our taxes already pay for the sheriff. The city is not in charge of the sheriff budget. Paying extra on top of our taxes when other cities don't is unfair. We're the second largest city in the county, and we should have law enforcement presence without having to pay additional funds. If you agree that we should have law enforcement presence with me, then I recommend engaging with the county. That the next meeting is actually on May 21st or May 20th. And because this should be a county issue, not a city issue. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Tiffany first.
So again, Tiffany Stewart, City of Cascade Locks. The agenda packet has been compromised due to the short work week, and the citizens don't have access to the extra application that's being approved tonight for the downtown revitalization thing, plan, excuse me, not thing, plan. I know you only have one meeting this month, and it kind of feels forced, but at the same time, citizens don't have access to that information that you will be approving tonight. And that's a lot frustrating. Also, I would again ask that the administration please not post everybody's personal information on said applications. Phone numbers, email addresses, and home personal addresses are all posted online for everybody to see. So I just would ask that they would be a little bit more careful again in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. The 5 public hearings.
We have the written public comments we have to read.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Yes, I have 2 written public comments. I received via email, and the mayor has the third one. Dear City Council, I am writing to express my support for keeping dedicated police presence in Cascade Locks. I was surprised and disappointed to learn that due to an increase in costs, the sheriff coverage, the city is considering terminating all dedicated police presence. It is unacceptable to have 0 committed police presence in our town. Having at least a part-time police presence deters crime, provides quicker response calls to 911 calls, helps with traffic management, especially during busy times of the year, and generally provides safety and peace of mind to Cascade Locks residents. A police presence also supports our local businesses as well as future economic development by creating a safer environment for businesses to thrive and visitors to feel safe. Having local officers here regularly that are familiar with our city enables them to address our specific local concerns and tailor their approach to the unique needs of Cascade Locks. It also seems problematic that the suggestion was made by our city administrator, who does not reside in Cascade Locks and therefore will likely never personally feel the impact of this decision. It will also notice that among other proposed budget changes, the city administrator's salary shows a proposed increase of 22%. As a resident, this large increase does not sit well with me when paired alongside a total elimination of police presence. While it is understandable that the requested increase by the sheriff's office is a financial challenge for our city, law enforcement presence needs to be a priority. This is important for the city, for the safety of residents, as well as many visitors that come through our town. I have not seen any evidence of attempts to compromise in other areas of the budget in order to maintain our police presence. If funding is a concern, the city should explore and apply for law enforcement grant opportunities or seek a mutually beneficial partnership with the court where expenses could potentially be shared. It was unclear from the meeting notes whether the city attempted any negotiations over the cost increases with the sheriff's office. As a last resort, the city could also consider reducing the 24-hour week slightly and still maintain a presence if nothing else is truly feasible. But I would emphasize any reduction in hours would be minimal. As the city continues to grow, it would be worth exploring having our own Cascade Locks officers, especially considering the current Hood River Sheriff's expense, which will likely continue to increase. Eliminating dedicated police presence is not an acceptable option, but our city and the proposed budget should be reviewed and revised. I strongly encourage all city council members to plan against any cut to our already limited police presence. It is clear that this budget item is not well thought out and the impact to our community was not carefully considered. Sincerely, Heather Weaver. Dear Cascade Locks City Council, I am writing to express my strong disagreement with the recent proposal to eliminate the contract with the Hood River County Sheriff's Office. As both a first responder and a concerned member of our community, I am deeply troubled by the potential ramifications this decision may have on the safety and security of our city. At a time when our community is already grappling with various challenges, the presence of the Hood River County Sheriff's Office has been crucial in ensuring the safety of Cascade locks. Since January 1st, 2024, the sheriff's office has responded to approximately 290 calls for service within our city limits. These calls encompass a wide range of situations from minor disturbances to more serious incidences and highlight the indispensable role the law enforcement plays in maintaining order and protecting our residents. Furthermore, the decision to terminate this contract appears to have been made without sufficient consideration for the potential consequences or input from residents of Cascade Locks. As stakeholders in the safety and well-being of our city, we deserve to have a say in matters that directly impact our lives and livelihoods. In light of these concerns, I urge the city council to reconsider its stance on the issues and exploring alternate solutions to prioritize the safety and security of Cascade Locks. Collaborating with the Hood River County Sheriff's Office is not just a partnership, it's a lifeline. It enables us to leverage additional resources and expertise in our efforts to maintain a safe and thriving community. I urge the council to find funding to maintain the contract with the Hood River County Sheriff's while evaluating options to sustain state police presence in Cascade Locks. This includes a local levy to fund police and fire within the city. Thank you for taking time to consider my perspective on this matter. I trust that you will act in the best interest of Cascade Locks and its residents as you deliberate on the future of our law enforcement services. Sincerely, Cameron Alex.
Thank you. Okay, one more. This is an email I received. This is from Mr. Noteboom's second grade class here in Cascade Locks. The Dear Mayor Fallon, I am student teaching. I am not in student. I am in student teaching at Cascade Locks Elementary School, and my second grade class has been studying civics, and in particular, local government. They have learned about voting and how you and the city council work together to make this community a better place. They have collaborated and decided to express an opinion to you and the council in this letter. Can you please build a new playground? I will quote some of the reasons and details. We want it big because it will be fun for kids. We will exercise. Maybe it could have a slide and monkey bars and a seesaw. Next to a sandy beach, lots of exercise, a rock wall, and chinchilla themed. I loved it. Please share this public comment with the council. We will listen to the meeting recording to hear your discussion if it makes it onto the agenda. I understand if it does not. Thank you for your time. Respectfully, Clay Noteboom, teacher, and then all of the students that signed it. So I reached back out to Mr. Noteboom and invited him, and he was one of the students to come and talk to council, and he said, no, they just wanted to write a letter. And I said, that's great. So, but I really, really appreciate this, and it's good to hear from the kids at the school, and these things are important, so I really appreciate it. I'm gonna make that appointment to go to the school when we come too, so. That's all of the comment, right?
Yes.
All right,
Oh, unless there's anybody online, sorry.
anybody online? Anyone?
I think we're good.
All right. Okay. So action items.
Oh,
Okay, public hearing.
No public hearing.
Thank you. Action items. Community picnic expense.
Then 2024 community picnic expense approval. Approval is being requested for an expenditure of no more than $1,500 for the community picnic this summer. These funds will be taken from the support committee program line 0140862022. This is a non-routine expense that needs approval from council to move forward. Council has approved a similar expense for picnics in 2023 and 2022. The exact date for picnic has not yet been selected. City council options are to approve $1,500 for expenditures toward a community picnic this summer. Approve a different dollar amount for expenditures for a community picnic. Do not approve of city funds being used for a community picnic. I will note that at the council budget committee meeting last week, there was suggestion to eliminate that line item. So I guess the funding may not be available pending budget out.
Yeah. So is there a motion?
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Yes.
So since the fiscal year ends June 30th. We would be using funds from the budget that has not been proposed, has not been finalized yet. Is that,
Correct, yes. This was written assuming that line would be,
so if it's not,
The other option, not that I'm a huge fan of it, is as soon as it's approved, there are funds still in the budget for this year. So as long as the expenses occur before June 30th.
So we would buy it, I guess, I mean, this is,
Correct, yeah. Logistics are not great.
it would be for this fiscal year and
Sure.
frozen until the picnic.
And one of the suggestions I was given was a couple gift card. Buy the gift card now and then use it as it gets closer to the event.
So then it's fresh. So either or. Or if all the funds are, I mean, we need to get into, if there's a motion and a second, then we get into discussion. So is there a motion to approve?
I just don't know how we can make a motion to approve if we don't have a budget.
Which we're gonna discuss,
Yeah.
and how.
I wanna make a motion to postpone this, action of choosing these funds until after the budget has been finalized.
So next meeting, hopefully, we'll be done,
Yeah.
hopefully. We're hoping.
Well, I mean, hopefully by the next meeting, it will be adopted by the budget committee, but will not be, or approved, it won't be adopted by council.
Okay. But we would have an idea.
Correct.
Why are we, why is this on the agenda for tonight if the budget hasn't been finalized?
Like, this was written, a week ago, before the idea of this line being eliminated is even a thought.
Right. That's why we're discussing.
I guess, yeah, so, and is there really an issue with us pushing this off till next month then?
No,
Yeah.
no,
Not at all.
no. So it'd
Do we
be
need a second
consensus.
for that?
Yes.
Yeah, or do we need a second? We need to vote on this or? do we need to-
Just consensus.
Yeah.
To push it to,
I agree, I think we should just move it to next.
let's do that, okay. So consensus, what you've been at. Committee appointments, downtown revitalization.
Okay. So below, community and stakeholders have submitted applications and appointed by the mayor for the Downtown Revitalization Project Advisory Committee. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 6 business downtown priority stakeholders or residents, and then 3 community members at large who do not live or own property in the downtown area. We have 1 member who submitted via U of O's portal but did not complete a city application. The desired membership level is 12, with 9 of them being priority stakeholders and 3 community members at large. I have been doing my best to keep our partners updated of what's going on. Tara Lingley from ODOT, Nate Stice from the governor's office, and Angie Brewer from Oregon DLCD all would like to be non-voting members of this committee. So we will have buy-in from state partners. Council can appoint as many of the members as they.
So just confused, so in the subject says committee appointments, downtown plan advisory committee. But in the synopsis, it refers to as the downtown revitalization project advisory committee. That would be, but what's the name of the committee?
It is the Downtown Revitalization Plan Project Advisory Committee.
So. Neither one of those is correct.
Correct, yeah, I mean, if we're technical terms, yes.
I saw big variations on the applications too from the,
Yeah.
as far as what they were applying for, so I felt like we need to be more clear with. The name of the community.
Someone put 2 X's, didn't have a spot, we'll let it file together.
So I mean, it'd be helpful for them to at least know what the name of the committee is. If that were clear. So just to make sure, the downtown revitalization plan project advisory committee.
Yeah.
Well, that's a mouthful.
Yeah. The correct DLCD is for the Downtown Revitalization Plan. And there's a committee to oversee it and the project advisory committee. Yeah, yeah. Project advisory.
So we have these.
We need to move each one of them
We
individually.
can do it individually or we can do it as for. How the council wants to proceed.
I'd say let's, make a motion to approve all of them, all of the applicants to Cascade Lot, downtown revitalization plan advisory committee. Second.
Second,
Can I ask one clarifying question?
yes,
When I had this presented at the previous meeting, council was very adamant that a city application needs to be approved. We're welcome not to a city in the sheets that are considered an applicant.
you can contact them.
I have talked to her, I have emailed her, I have voicemails, she really needs to.
And make a friendly amendment to remove her from the list of candidates.
Yeah, just going to clarify, thank you.
All right, any other discussion? Okay, we'll vote.
Councilmember Compton.
Aye.
Farrell.
No.
Happy.
Aye.
Keller.
Aye.
Miller.
No.
Mayor Phil.
Aye. It passes. Okay, so now we're moving 7A up to 6B.
All right, so the charter review committee extension, at the November 13th, 2023 council meeting, council approved the creation of the charter review committee. The committee was originally given a deadline of May 31st, 2024 to present. The committee has requested an extension to June 24th, 2024 to report results to council. Committee Chair Kyleman will provide a detailed update of the committee's progress and plans. The deadline to submit items to the ballots is August 7th, 2024. The new committee deadline will give staff approximately 6 weeks to prepare and submit the paperwork. If council agrees with the recommendations / changes from the committee, we will have enough time to complete the paperwork. If council does not agree with the changes and wants to further deliberate the charter, staff will not have time to prepare documents for the ballot day. The options are to approve the extension. Now we just.
Doing that.
Council. I am Courtney Patton, I am the chair of the charter review committee. We, for the most part, some of the biggest changes, it looks like a lot of red line on the red line, and that's because we moved a lot of sections around, and that was mainly to match the LFC model charter. Looking into other cities, they have also followed the LFC model charter, so it's pretty much consensus that it's solid, it's good, we match a lot of other places now. We have been in contact with the attorney, we've been taking public comment. See what people want. And that's all I got. Do you have any questions?
No questions?
Do we have a copy of where you are now with the charter?
So we have made it through one time. We are now going back and double checking that we like what we've done. Like I said, there was a lot of sections that were moved around, like a chapter that got kind of fit and pieced into other places. And we're waiting on one more answer from the attorney. We're hoping by next meeting we'll have a go on it and have it be ready to present. But Jordan does have a copy of the red line.
Yeah, so that we have one more, we have one more meeting, or a meeting scheduled for Thursday, the 16th. I have a couple of questions about the city attorney Cleveland. Waiting to get back on once the committee is good with that version, plans to hold a public open house on Thursday, June 6th. To invite the town to look at changes, get their feedback, make sure they're on the right path. take the notes from that open house, do one more meeting that's tentatively scheduled for June.
13th,
What do we say?
13th.
13th. Put that together as a final draft and present it to council at the June 24th.
I say you've done a really good job, and I really appreciate you guys have reached out to other professionals, LOC. And you guys have really taken this seriously and dove into it, and really, really appreciate it. For nothing but good things.
Well, okay.
So you need to extend.
Yes, because the job description for the committee approved by council had a specific deadline. I need approval from council to give that committee an extension. You guys.
Right.
So I move to extend the charter review committee deadline to present to council on June 30th, 2024.
Oh, that's a title, I had there,
June 24th.
24, yes, sorry. Yeah.
So I'll reread that. Motion to extend the charter review committee deadline to present to council on June 24th, 2024.
Is there a second? I'll second it. Discussion? There's no discussion. Roll call.
Councilmember Compton.
Aye.
Farrell,
Aye.
Happy,
Aye.
Keller,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Mayor Fallon.
Aye. And it passes. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You know, we board it out at town hall, get that ready together.
I think it's gonna be good. All right, so now we're going to 7E, County Administrator Allison.
Good evening,
Welcome.
Mayor and council members, nice to be here. I also like, new county administrator, started December 4th, and I got to know Jordan very well during the storms that we had in January, and we're really pleased, to have our emergency management folks down here, helping out through that effort. I have been remiss in getting here, wanted to put my face with the name of the county administration. I come with a long-standing history of public service, mostly in Washington State. I have to say, I went to a great high school, because Jordan and I went to the same high school, Colorado. And, no, I'm just thrilled to be down here and serving. I came from, spent the bulk of my career in Wenatchee, which is in Chelan County, a county very similar to Hood River County, with a long-standing history in fruit growing and the Columbia River running through it. So I am hoping to put a great face on the county to be accessible to you. I know I'm coming at a time where we're working through some difficult issues. I would just say that, you know, we've had a long-standing relationship with the city in regards to the services that we've provided. And I would just encourage that we have a good conversation about what is ahead for Cascade Locks and how the county can be a partner with you in all the services that we provide. Law enforcement in particular is continuing to get more contentious, more fraught with liability and the enforcement of the laws that we have on the books, specific to what is in the city requires that local presence. But as a county, we would continue obviously to provide services with the sheriff's office on the county. And I know he's willing, we've had some conversations, but he's willing to come and present in regards to the services. So, do you have questions for me at all, or
Council, do questions?
I mostly just wanted to come and provide an introduction of myself and face with the name, and just let you know that I am available and have established a great working relationship with Jordan, and we look forward to being a partner. So
Maybe you could share your contact information.
absolutely,
Yes.
yeah.
Jordan can get that out. We're happy.
If I'm law enforcement, obviously, I kind of on the forefront of everybody's mind, but I think it would be a good idea to just remind everybody all of the ways that the county and the city interact and work together. Can you talk about some of the ways of interface?
Well, so I didn't bring them on the list obviously this evening, but I think about all of the departments that the county provides. And services are provided countywide, obviously. So particularly during COVID, I know the health department was such a presence for our county in regards to everything that occurs there. Planning, long-range planning and community development planning. Prevention programs, and so that's an area where I know our prevention department has been down here working with the community on efforts there. We provide a justice court here in town, and so we have the judge and services here through that entity. Records and assessment, so obviously running elections and providing the access to the election processes. Budget and finance, so the investment of all of the tax funds on behalf of our county residents. Public safety, of course, is primary in terms of what we're providing. And I think about it in the sense of tourism services, the highway and the interface there that's really important with public safety. I think a really critical program that we have provided that we're working through with the charter review process is the construction excise tax program. So obviously I came in December, and so we were going through some adjustments with that, but there has been the investment in an affordable housing project that is coming online here in Cascade Locks, and so those efforts will continue. I'm running down, see, I should have had a list in front of me.
That's okay, keep going.
And so, I'm running through the laundry list of all of the services, so, you know, health, prevention, public safety, long-range planning, elections, budget and finance, the overall administration of the county. We obviously provide for support for the fair that has a countywide impact, and numerous other services. And so on a quarterly basis, our departments provide reports. I need to make sure that I'm getting those out to Jordan to share with all of you. I look at the services that are provided across our small county, and it's tremendous. We do a really wonderful job. Yes.
Can I add one to that list?
Yes, please.
Building
because
department.
The building department is huge. Yes.
Outside of law enforcement, I'd say building department, so the county does building inspections and permits for all buildings, the actual building in Cascade Locks.
That is a tremendous service. Yes, and the service that we provide for many. Yes.
I see another issue that we need to address is transportation of roadways, especially Forest Lane. It is narrow. We have a very old bridge sitting across Corbin Creek. I would sure like to see somebody inspect it. And
You sure about that one?
because of the new bike path. Mitchell Point and all that's connecting through here, we're seeing an influx of more bicyclists. So, and that road is heavily used by bicycles, so for safety, I think we need to look at there.
Well, and I mentioned emergency management earlier on, so I didn't want to forget that. That has been such a great program with the county. Public Works is huge, and so yes, there are county roads that are still within your city limits. We've had our county engineer out working with your Public Works director to look at Forest Lane specifically. We have had great success recently with the Safe Routes to School program and Megan Ramey. And so that's an area where we really need to get a plan done for that connection, to get that adopted and then get that into a planning process for some resources, because the roadway is built to county standards, and now it is within the city. The city plans to different standards. And so it's gonna take some significant funding to bring that up to a city standard. And right now it's in a county standard. So that will require some investment. Secondly, in regards to the bridges, we are in the process of putting together a county-wide plan for the prioritization of, the necessary repairs and replacement schedule for all of the bridges in the county. There are 20. And all of them in various states of repair. So, that is on the list. I actually did have a report from our county engineer on that particular bridge, and it is a difficult one. It is in an area where you've got, some, endangered species issues, the way it presents itself, and then the particular way it is built presents some challenges, but our eyes are on it, and I know that our staff is working with you in that regard. And I understand that most recently, we were having some conversations about jurisdictional transfers. Obviously, that's a big concern of a city wanting to take something like that on, but sometimes you may have resources that we don't. But in the meantime, we just need to work together on that. And we have heard from your citizens in the interest of the bike lane on that. And we do have striping planned, and so we will be looking at what can be done there. The shoulder is very narrow. So we want to make sure that whatever is done meets standards for safety, and particularly when there's new neighborhoods and kids involved. So.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I think the only thing I want to add on that, and I'm glad you brought it up, is that it's not just the bike path, but it's also, our main connector for our commercial path. So we've got, this new neighborhood and kids, we've got bicyclists, and we have commercial traffic in addition to just the regular city traffic. And it's just a kind of a scary situation. So I'm glad to hear that there's some striping planned. And then besides Forest Lane, Frontage Road was another one that was also brought up for discussion regarding the bike path in particular. Because the bike path comes at, finishes at Wyatt and then picks up on the west side of Cascade Locks. And so anybody that's looking at trying to make a transit, they have to transit, down Frontage Road and then along Forest Lane and then downtown. But I'm just, I live there, and many of us do, when we see the kids out in the middle of winter and it's dark, it's black. There's not great lighting, and it's just scary with the commercial traffic on that road. So I'm glad that there's some attention being put on that.
Well, and it sounds like it's a great candidate for some regional prioritization, and so, yes, your administrator participates with myself on the regional committees, that are looking at prioritizing regional projects. Both from an economic development standpoint, but from an active transportation standpoint, we're gonna start taking that process through, McEd's, Edge group that we participate on, the economic development group. So that would be good candidates.
We were looking at doing a transportation study at some point, or trying to get funds to do a transportation study, right? And I don't know what all that will entail, but I know that at one point in time, of course, adding a entrance to the freeway over there at, the overpass. Do you know anything about that?
That was, in addition, if Nestle come in.
That's what it was, that's right. But holy cow, that would alleviate so much commercial traffic through town. If there was an easy way for commercial vehicles to get on and off the freeway on the east side of town. So just something else.
Well, and I think there is a transportation roadshow coming through. I think they're stopping in the Dalles, but we do need to have more regular conversations with ODOT in this region and make sure that our projects are prioritized. The interface with I-84 and the highway system, they have the control over those access, the ingress and egress, and so yeah, we need to make sure we're coordinating with them as well, and that's on my list, is to have more regular conversations with ODOT in this region.
And I think it's important that, we're kind of working together, I guess, on advocating for the needs of our area. So, thank you.
Yes, and I can tell you your administrator's been a great advocate for you already. And it has helped to get me up to speed with the needs of the city, so that's been great.
I appreciate you coming and
Thank you very much.
addressing council, and
Yeah.
it's nice to see someone from county that.
Good.
And I look forward to getting your contact information and then.
Good, well, I I think it is important that, you know, we're all one county. We've got to make sure that, you've got access to services and that we provide a base and, good support. So appreciate it. All right.
Any other
Thank you.
comments? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you so much, appreciate you coming. Ambulance surplus update.
Okay, way back on September 11th, 2023, City Council approved resolution number 1493, which allowed the surplus of the 2001 Ford ambulance authorized the sale. The staff report presented to council at the meeting listed two options for consideration. The motion to adopt resolution 1492 passed unanimously. However, there was an added sentence of consensus for the ambulance to go to Columbia Gorge Community College. The city received a letter from Columbia Gorge Community College stating they were suspending their paramedic program. So after all this time, they no longer want to do this. So no action needs to be taken at this time. Council has already surplus the ambulance. Staff will decide what's the best future is for getting rid of it that best benefits the city. I don't know if that other option to sell it to private citizens is still available, but we're gonna look.
On-site program,
What's that?
that was the other one, on-site.
Yes, I think the plan at the time was to turn it into kind of a mobile medic unit that would service events like the sailing events here or anything, PCT days or anything in the county. Or I guess wherever they want to take their business, but yes, that was the plan at the time, but I'm not sure if that's still an option, but.
That was through a private organization, correct?
Correct, yes.
And I think the idea was they're gonna give it to CBCC in trade for classes.
Tuition,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that.
They're dropping the program, yeah.
For right
Yeah. So, yeah, that's just an informational update, so council's aware.
appreciate it, thank you.
Yeah, a copy of the minutes, the resolution that was passed, the original staff report and the letter from the community college is all attached.
Maybe they'll get that program back. Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah,
Be without our ambulance.
I think the next closest paramedic program is Portland Community College. I think it's the only other one in the region. So,
Sounds like John has some options.
yeah.
Okay. City Administrator Bennett report.
Okay, first up, April crime stats reports. We had a bit of a swing in calls from April 22 to April 23 to April 24. 54% increase from 97 to 150. I think in the report, if it wasn't in there, was the actual report from the sheriff's office. 70 of 100 of those 150 calls were traffic stops. That is by far the most reported in the year and a half I've been here. The next closest was 51 last month. Some are single digits other months. So the deputy currently assigned, I'm gonna assume, is doing a lot of focus on speeding in Cascade locks. Of those 70 calls, I was able to clarify 66 were actually in the city of Cascade locks, and the rest were either on I-84 or out kind of in the area, I think, outside of like frontage road, kind of out that way, but 66 were in the city of Cascade Locks. Wastewater plant, Anderson Perry and JW Fowler, the engineers and general contractor for the wastewater plant improvements, have submitted the final pay application to complete the project. Myself, Public Works Supervisor Price, and Jacobs, our plant operators, have objections to closing out the project. Key components of the plant continue to have issues. The main issues are compressors failing, sludge pump failure, and the decant valve. I'm working with all parties and our funders to ensure the city has a properly functioning treatment plant before the project is closed out. And Anderson Perry and Jacobs, that should say Jacob and Fowler, not Jacobs, are released from the project. So I got a detailed list of the issues from Jacobs, and I submitted a letter to Anderson Perry and our funder today. So I will keep council apprised. My worry is that if we close out the project, both Anderson Perry and JW Feller will wipe their hands of it, and we're stuck with a new plant that isn't operating correctly. But I'm hoping to get this done and completed out of the way before the end of the budget cycle, but we'll see how that goes. Natural hazards mitigation plan, Hood River Counties, which is another service the county provides. Natural hazards mitigation plan has lapsed. The county emergency management office is working with the University of Oregon to update the plan. Myself and Chief Logan have met with them multiple times to gather information on Cascade locks and how to incorporate the city in the plan. The county has a timeline of November 2024 to finalize the plan. The city councils of both Hood River and Cascade locks will need to approve this plan as well. The plan has a direct effect on our FEMA grant request for the city hall roof. FEMA typically does not give out grants if the NHMP is not current. Myself, McKed, and Oregon Department of Energy Management, Department of Emergency Management, who applied to FEMA on our behalf, are in discussions with FEMA regarding this issue. The last communication seems to indicate this last plan is the final holdup on being awarded the funds. There seems to be, they won't quite give me a straight answer. They also stated that if awarded, we could accept the funds. However, the county would have 12 months to implement the plan. If the county does not implement the plan, 12 months from awarding the funds, we have to give them back. So that's where that sits. Let's see here, EMS service fees. Myself and Chief Logan will be presenting the proposed amount for renewing the EMS service fees. The current fee expires at the end of 2024. We will be presenting for a review and discussion of the resolution ordinance for updating amounts and sending it to the ballot for a vote in November. We hope to have it on the agenda for formal vote June 24th. So presenting at the next council meeting on June 10th for review, discussion, comments, and if the consensus, move forward with the number for official approval on June 24th. One happy note, awesome note in my report. Joanne Wittenberg, a longtime member of the Cascade Locks Museum Board, has been awarded an Oregon Heritage Excellence Award as an outstanding heritage volunteer. It is a state level award for volunteers supporting heritage organizations statewide. At the time it was written, the date of the celebration was unknown, but added today. It has been determined Thursday, May 30th at 10:30 a.m. at the Bridge Side Restaurant. Will be the handing out of the award and celebration of Joanne's honor. And then a quick reminder that May 27th, Memorial Day, City Hall is closed and council meeting is canceled.
Thank you. Thank you. And let's see, I was going through that, so we're going to be going into executive session. What I'd like to do is get council comments. So that we run public and we don't hear it at the end of the executive session. So Councilmember Crompton, would you like to go first?
Sure. I want to thank staff and everybody who helps bring these meetings together. It takes work. I want to thank all the citizens who are concerned about the losing of our contract with the sheriff's department. I just want them to know that if we do end up not doing that particular contract, we'll try not to leave it void of anything. We'll try to implement maybe a cheaper option. We are still discussing these things, but we're not trying to take away all public safety. Go ahead.
Councilmember Kelly?
I would like to kind of piggyback Mr. Compton's comments. I don't know where I stand on the city issue. One minute I'm like, screw it, let's get rid of it, let's save that $154,000. And on the other side, it's like, I love knowing that no matter what shape the department is in, we have our dedicated service. And if there are any plans, like ideas, thoughts, like how can we budget for this? Because my question always comes back to, if we keep this, what are we cutting? Our budget is finite. And I don't know where to go with that. I would also like to remind everybody to have appropriate decorum and manners at the meeting. If faces and comments and disregard for the people that are speaking is incredibly disrespectful. Show the respect that you want. And then, I don't know if any of you have seen, the graduation signs are out. Our graduates, I believe there are 16, will be graduating on June 7th. There are some incredible, exciting plans that these graduates have. Ask them, congratulate them. A lot of them have come through adverse barriers to get to graduation date. So give them the due respect that they deserve.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Farrell? I'd like to thank everyone who commented on various issues, mainly the sheriff, but, and also for Allison Williams coming in, that was really nice. I'd like to see more of the county coming to our meetings. Jordan, you mentioned for the EMS service fee, no, it wasn't that, it was the NHMP that we had, that they might give us a grant, but we would have to do our part in a year's time of getting that study together. Is that doable? I mean, I don't know what it all involves. Is that a year? Is that
It's doable. Like I said, the county's timeline is to have it up and approved and adopted by November of this year.
okay?
So we're probably at least, I'd say another month if we're awarded it from FEMA, so we have 12 months from June.
So we can do it.
I think, and Charles seemed pretty optimistic that by the end of this calendar year, it will be approved. The hiccup in that is the county builds it, FEMA approves it, and then we as the city have to approve it. Hood River has to approve it, and I don't, do the ports have to approve it? No, okay, just the cities. So if the city of Hood River doesn't like it, then we're still waiting, yeah.
Okay. And if there's anyone from the port here, online, I was wondering if they knew about the Tom Cramlet, if it was the same day or the time, but I don't, Pam's here, I don't know if she would know. Pam, do you know about the Tom Cramlet celebration? May not be. Okay, never mind. And lastly, I was just gonna say also, one of the suggestions that I had made before we got into budget talk was to take the 6,000 support community programs line and put it towards our dropping off of flipping and transporting issue that we had talked about too. That's it. All right, thank you. Councilmember Brown?
First off, I always like to thank staff for all their hard work preparing the materials for us. And I'd like to thank Albert and Tiffany, Courtney, and Allison Williams for appearing before us, and Joanne Wittenberg. This is a person who so deserves this award. Joanne and her husband Ken have been members of this town forever. I think they've taught about 15 of my cousins since they were school teachers here. And Joanne and my mother both served on the garden club and the museum for many years, and I had the pleasure of also serving on the museum board with Joanne. So well deserved. And that's all I got.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Happy?
Appreciate the update from the Charter Review Committee, so thank you for coming in this evening. You guys have put in a lot of work, and I'm really excited to see where things are with that. So I'm looking forward to reading the web version of that, and I appreciate the opportunity for the town hall to get more public input on that. Thank you very much for your efforts. And again, I want to say thank you to everybody involved in the budget review as well. It's a lot of participation. This is my third budget cycle that I've been through, and every time I learn something new. And please correct me if I misstate anything, all right? But it's my understanding that the reason why we are short of funds in the general fund and why we had to make the cuts, proposed cuts to law enforcement was because the sewer, water, and electric did not pay what they should have for admin and overhead. Is that correct?
No, it is not. It's the cost of everything across the board, including law enforcement, has gone up, while our revenue, our tax base, our fees, our charges have not. I mean, our expenses are estimated to go up, I don't remember the exact number, but probably. Well, I guess it's evens, but anyways, we don't have enough income. Or we haven't increased fees.
Okay, let me just take us back up a second. So we did reduce the amount of, it was electric, water and sewer?
Yes,
Correct.
yeah.
For admin and overhead, and how much was that dollar figure that we, I guess, did not put to the general fund? How much did we cut?
So I reran the numbers after the last budget committee, it adds an extra 53,000 to the general fund.
So 53,000.
We're still $70,000, yeah.
70,000.
Yeah, because it said what, so yeah, what I did was adjust that and then wiped out. Contingency, zero in contingency, took the 10,000 from the community support funds, put it all towards law enforcement, and we're still 70,000 short.
Thank you for clarifying the numbers. I guess my question is, how do you track our fund balances throughout the year? Do you have a spreadsheet that you use for seeing kind of where we are with each fund? Throughout the
Yeah,
year?
if the reports on Cascade, yeah.
Because I feel like, every council meeting, we have the ratification of the bills, but that really doesn't tell us anything as far as where we're sitting in each of those funds. And I feel as council, I was a little blindsided by the surprise that we didn't have enough money to operate water, sewer and electricity without their paying their fair share in the general fund. So the general fund was taking a hit because those funds we don't have enough fees in there, right? We're not making enough money and there's
The biggest one is sewer, not having the revenue to operate. The other ones are fine, it's just a cut across the board for all of them to redirect the funds to their future operations.
So you're saying that we have enough money in sewer, not in sewer, in water and electric. But you made a cut across the board for all three, so that it was consistent.
Yes.
But it was a departure from the way that we've allocated those funds in the past, which resulted in a shortage. But really, the only one that was really not really financially solvent is the sewer problem. How long have we known that that's been a problem?
I didn't really notice it until I started putting this budget together about 2 months ago when I started running the numbers.
So I think that, on council, I'd like to see a little bit more proactive communication and reporting on that. I guess my comment is that, is there a way that we can be more proactive next time with seeking out where we're sitting in those funds throughout the year as opposed to just discussing this during the reviews, budget review cycle. I think that would make me feel a little bit more better equipped to be able to provide better service to our community. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. All the stuff on my mind. Gosh, first of all, thank you to the city and staff for always keeping us all well informed of the packets and everything. Really appreciate the budget committee, council, everyone who's serving on that. I know this is tough. We've got a lot of big decisions to make, and everyone is trying really hard and gathering information. So I really appreciate that. Courtney, appreciate you and the team that you're on, and you guys have just done a great job, really good job, and I'm proud of you guys for seeking LLC and attorneys and everything like that. It's really good. Thank you, Allison Williams, for coming. It's nice to be a face from the county, and we'll have more conversations on that. Thank you to Mr. Noteboom's second grade class. Really appreciate it. I think it's good for kids in school to reach out to their local elected officials, and I'll be hoping to see them. So we'll do that. Thank you. And then all the community members who submitted a letter and that were read, really appreciate that. Everyone who came and spoke tonight. Also, I wanted to touch base, there was a community member that had concern about parking on Regulator Street. During the last council meeting, I did speak to, John Logan, our fire chief, and I said, is it a factor? Is it a factor? And he said, well, yeah, like it's busy. And I said, can you get a fire truck too? And he said, not really. I said, well, that's a problem. And I go, are there any other streets? And he says, yes. So he's gonna be getting, with you, Jordan, and he submitted a report to the previous administration, Gordon, like 4 years ago, but nothing was done. And so I said, well, let's revisit that, send it to Jordan so council can see the 4 streets. And then as council, we need to figure out what we can do, post signs, you know, so it's just one side of the street parking. But that we've got to get our fire trucks through. So that was a good point, and so John's on that to communicate with you. Okay. And then also thank you to our fire department. I know they were on a pretty hairy call on I-84, and they ended up transporting, and they just do an amazing job. So I really appreciate them and everything that they do. Let me see, and I think that's it. I got it all. Oh, and to Albert also who spoke, that was really good. I appreciate him. I mean, and I appreciate his passion. Lives worked there as a business and now running for a county commission. So I appreciate that. At this time, we're gonna move out of our regular session. We're gonna move into executive session. Stating that ORS, which are agent ORS 192.660. Parentheses 2, performance evaluation of public officers or employees. We're going to executive session. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you. You're welcome.